Okay, so I know this is terrible picture quality, but I have to share this with you. It's 6:30 in the morning, and this is my favorite place outside of hiking on the trail. I'm inside my sleeping bag, and you guys are in here with me, and I don't want to get out. This is the worst part for me of any hiking trip, is having to get out of my sleeping bag when it's cold out. If it's not cold out, I'm totally fine. But every morning when it's cold, I wake up and I say to myself, why am I doing this again? And then I get on the trail and I'm like, oh, this is magic. Like, I absolutely love the hiking. I don't mind carrying my pack or filtering water, any of that stuff. I like setting up camp. I like tearing it down, but getting out of my sleeping bag in the morning when it's freezing is like my Achilles. I don't do too well in the cold, and no matter how much gear I have on at night, it's so snuggly in here, and then having to get out in the morning is just awful. Second worst is when I have to wake Largo up, and he's like, But then we get on the trail, and I spend 95% of my day doing what I love, which is moving my body out in nature with Largo, which is so, so cool. So it's time to start the day. Largo. Good morning, Captain. How'd you sleep?
I was cold.
You were cold? I think we're always going to be cold until summer. We're going to get our sleep liners back in 2 days. Okay, it's time to start waking up. Good morning from day number 7, our 1-week anniversary. Last night was chilly, guys. I don't know. How'd you sleep, Largo?
I slept really, really well until it was morning.
Yeah, he didn't want to get out of his quilt this morning. So you guys, I know a lot of you are kind of jonesing for some of the rituals and traditions that we did on our Camino. So this morning, I think we'll bring back, are you ready? Aches and pains. And so for those of you who are new here, almost every morning on the Camino, we talked about any aches and pains we might have. And we're not going to do it every day on this trail because we will get stronger, and that would be so redundant after like 200 vlogs. But we'll start it off today. So do you have any aches and pains?
I would say that my hips kind of hurt me.
Okay, is that it?
Yeah.
So my hips hurt a little bit last night when I was laying down, and I was wondering if maybe it was the cold or just I'm not used to the mattress. My feet last night when we came into camp I don't have any blisters or anything like that, but they were just aching a bit, but they're fine now after resting. I'm actually surprised at how little aches and pains I'm having. Are you surprised? Yeah, my forearms hurt a little bit too from the poles because that's a weird angle that I'm not used to using. Very different than my computer angle of my arms. We're not sure how far we're going today. We have a long day, but we're not exactly sure
As far as we can.
As far as we can before we just can't take it anymore. It's cold this morning. Not super cold. I think it was like 40 when we woke up inside the tent, so that's not too bad, but it feels pretty cold. Is that it for us right now? All right, guys.
Let's get going.
See you soon. So there's a lot of time to think when you're out here. And even though we're only on day 7, I've had a lot of time to think already. And one of the things I was thinking about this morning, and I just felt compelled to come and share it with you guys. As I'm walking downhill, taping, we know what happens when I do that, but I'm being extra careful this time. So this is hard. The hiking, not so hard. Carrying the pack, not so hard.
But all of it together, the hiking, the pack, the weather, the tent, just all the obstacles, pooping outside, things that people might not have done before that are coming on this trail, the whole package is hard and it takes time to adjust to. And I applaud those who say that it's not hard and it's totally fine, and maybe it is for them. I suspect they're not telling the truth. And here's how I suspect this. When in life, if we're trying or doing something crazy that other people don't do, and it's not going so well, it's hard, and it's something we haven't done before, so we don't know if it's going to be a success, to tell people it's hard and it's not going well feels like failure, because there are a whole bundle of people that have a lot of fear in them that will say, see, you shouldn't have done it, or this was a stupid idea, or it was too hard, or whatever the case may be. They're called the naysayers. I hate the naysayers. I learned something at this conference that I was just at a week ago. When people are negative or post mean comments, you just say, no, thank you. One of the speakers, and I can't remember which speaker said that, just say, no, thank you. So when we first left the United States 10 years ago and moved to Costa Rica, it really sucked. It wasn't Costa Rica's fault. It was just hard. We completely changed our life in our early 40s. And we barely told anyone how hard it was. Sorry, I'm so congested this morning. Because we were afraid of what I just said. And it took us about 6 to 8 months to adjust to living a completely different lifestyle, homeschooling, both of us working remotely. And what I realized was us saying nothing and saying, it's fine, it's fine, like smiling through the pain, it's fine, we've all done that before, right? Helped no one, including us. And once we realized that, we said no more. So when we moved into an RV, to RV all around Europe for 3 years, same thing, guys, 4-month transition, really hard. And you know what we did this time? We just said, this is hard, but we'll make it through. And when we bought a sailboat during COVID, having no idea how to sail, we did the same thing. We said to people, it's hard. You don't do things in life like this and they're just fine. Now, if you've been a hiker or a sailor or an RVer for 20 years or you grew up in it, yeah, maybe it's easier. But if you're trying something completely new that you've never done before, like Largo and I have never slept in the woods outside of a campground, it's going to be hard. And just tell your truth and just say, no, thank you to those people who are just being rude or say you shouldn't have done it or it was too hard or you're too old or you're too fat or you're too stupid, whatever the case may be. I just want to say it's okay to say if it's hard. And I hope you already know this. And Largo and I, that's been our whole kind of channel premise, is that we didn't actually start vlogging until we had left Costa Rica when we moved to Ecuador. And we started telling our truth then. And, you know, when we started sailing, there were so many people like, oh, the pink-haired lady's so stupid. She doesn't know what she's doing. She's going to die, da-da-da-da. You know, there weren't, I shouldn't say there were a whole bunch, such a small percentage, less than 1%. And I just said, whatever. I know I can do this. I've done hard things before. So that's a long-winded way of saying this is hard. All the components put together, it's hard. And we're here to share the truth of it, guys. I really don't care if someone thinks we're not going to make it or we weren't prepared enough, or whatever the case may be. I want you, as the followers, the people coming on this journey with us, to know the truth, okay? Or know at least our truth. Ah! All right, Largo. Hey, you finally caught up.
I did.
Where you been, lazy bones?
I was taking my time and enjoying the scenery.
Were you taking a pee?
No.
No. Crossing coming. No, quack, quack, quack. I don't know the sound the chicken makes. We did have one guy hiking with his son, his little son, on the trail who had a backpack full of Cokes and little mini Snickers, which was really great. Right? I was just thinking I should have put a Coke in that bag. It would have been worth the wait. We are minutes away from going up what people say is, or almost up, what people say is the hardest peak on the trail in Georgia, but not the highest.
That's what they
highest.
say.
That's
I
what
mean,
they say.
I doubt it's gonna be. I doubt it's gonna be that bad. It's not gonna be that bad. No.
I'm a little nervous. Plus, I have to poop, and I always get nervous when I have to poop. I don't know why, because I have to find a spot and dig a hole and Anyway, TMI, but that's what we're about here with sharing the reality of it. So, okay, you ready, Largo?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. Largo, do you think I should refilter this water? It looks awful brown to me.
Maybe just a little bit.
Let me taste it. I'm just kidding. It's the chocolate element electrolyte. But doesn't it look like nasty swamp water? It actually tastes like watered down cold chocolate milk. And I'm not super fan of it. I like their other flavors better. But it's fun to mess with people and be like, do you think I should refilter this? So Largo's back there getting his deodorant out of his bag because I guess he forgot to put it on this morning. And I thought I would chat with you guys for a minute about menstruation on the trail. Now, I am only been on the trail for 7 days, so I'm by no means an expert on this, but I just got my period. And so I have the Diva Cup, which I've used before and I absolutely love. I also brought some tampons if I just felt like didn't want to deal with the Diva Cup. And to be honest, right now we have a huge hiking day and I just don't have it in me to deal with the Diva Cup. It's super easy, but there's other obstacles and I'm like bitten off as much as I can chew right now. So I can't offer a lot of information on this, but I have heard that like a couple months into this, a lot of people lose their period because they're exercising so much. But I feel great. I don't feel bad or anything like that, but it just adds an extra level because you do have to pack it out. So I have a Ziploc bag, and then I haven't done it yet, but I'm gonna put duct tape on the outside. It was a tip I got from Chica and Sunsets, just because it's kind of nasty, and if the bag falls out of another bag, and anyway. But so we have a hefty day still ahead of us, and so I don't know if we're gonna make our deadline of where we need to be for our shuttle. So we might have to adjust that, and that happens on the trail. It's just part of being on the trail, and you have to be flexible and whatnot. So, yeah, I'll see you in a bit. So this morning we met our first person who was getting off the trail, and he said, I'm done. And I said, for the day? And he said, no, for good. And he said, I'm just not enjoying it. And I think that's a really interesting takeaway, because I feel like people call it quitting, but it's not really quitting. If you're not enjoying it,
you're just done.
Right. And you've tried, right? Which I feel like he should be so proud of himself because he did it, right? He started it and he realized it wasn't for him, rather than being like 85 years old sitting on his recliner saying, I wished I would have when I could, right? So I don't know his name. I know where he's from, but I don't want to say because I want to keep his story private. But if you're watching, we're really impressed and proud of you for saying, I'm just not enjoying it and it's not for me, because you got out here and you did it and you tried. And that's more than a lot of people do. So those of you who are watching this who are thinking, should I try it? Should I?
Absolutely.
Just do it, right? I mean, if it doesn't work out, you can always go back to where you were before, but at least you'll come out here and you'll check that box and you'll go, okay, it was for me or it wasn't for me, and you won't go on like wondering your whole life, right?
Yeah.
I have an example of that. Is like when we were sailing from our first like multi-day sail from Portugal to the Canary Islands, I was throwing up and had diarrhea and shaking and crying for like 12 hours straight. And I was like,
it was awful.
Are you happy?
I don't know if happy is the word I'd use right now, but maybe in a couple of days I'll be happy once my sea legs come back. It was awful. And I said, this is not for me. And I made the decision that I would not cross the Atlantic Ocean with the family, just for a lot of different reasons. I thought I was a hindrance, whatever. Now, it actually ended up being for me. I mean, it's kind of contradictory to what we just said before, but for me, I thought long and hard why it wasn't for me, and it was because I was throwing up so much, and then I got proper medication, and then I didn't throw up anymore, and then I crossed the Atlantic, and I loved it. But there are a lot of things that we've started in life where we've gone, okay, that was really fun to try, but it's not for me.
It's also a testament to how a bad day shouldn't defer you from...
Yeah, and you know what? I did ask him. I said, is today a bad day? And he goes, it's not a bad day. He said he'd had great days, lots of trail magic. It'd been really wonderful and enjoyable, but it just wasn't for him. So kudos to you for just knowing it's not for you.
Yeah.
And yeah, come hike with us for a day when we get further up north. Wow, this is stunning. It seriously is taking my breath away. So Largo was up here waiting for me. How long were you ahead of me? Maybe a minute?
I was probably about like 3 or 4 minutes.
3 or 4 minutes. You guys, we are officially at the top of the second highest mountain on the ATA Trail in Georgia, but apparently the hardest one to climb. And I thought we wouldn't be at the top till 3. Largo said 2, and it is like 2:03. Winner, winner, chicken dinner, Largo.
Of course. I know how fast we are.
And we are officially at the top. You guys, look at this, look at this.
We are at the top of Trey Mountain.
Where that little red dot right there. Ah! Largo, what do you want to do now? What do you want to do to celebrate?
Go downhill a lot.
Let's go downhill a lot. Yay. Oh my gosh, you guys. This is exciting. I wish you were here. I wish you could see all this with us. It's really that cool. All right, let's roll, Largs. So one of the great things, many great things, about being in the U.S. for 6 months after to do the AT is that Largo gets to spend more time with his sister, who he's very close with. And right now, he's actually talking with her on the watch, which is really cool. It has great reception out here right now. The Apple Watch, I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So I love that they're so close and that they get to have more time together now. It's one of the advantages that came out of kind of living the lifestyle that we live and traveling full time. And one of our goals was to work on our family bond and have a tighter bond, and it's really worked out. I love it.
What if I open my soul? Here I stand by myself on my own. What if I lose all control and take a step out into the unknown? Oh, oh, oh. What do I know? What's going on now? Is this another breakdown? You and me, should I let go? I do really want to know what's going on now. Is this another breakdown? You and me, should I say so? We're just putting on a show.
How's it going?
So in my opinion, this mountain right now, maybe because it's late in the day, is the hardest one we've done. Because it feels like it's straight up and it's only a mile. No one ever mentions it. I don't even know what the name of it is. We're almost at camp for the night, but boy, I'm feeling it, guys. I'm feeling it. And I haven't done the mileage, but I think this is going to be our biggest mileage day. Let's go. Woo. So we hiked for 11 hours today. I'm not exactly sure how many miles it is. We will recap that in our best and worst in the tent tonight. But right now we want to just get our tent set up and get inside. I think we're both going to skip dinner. We're so tired. Are you going to skip dinner, Largo?
Probably.
Yeah, we have to get up. We have to get to Dick's Creek Gap tomorrow by 11:30 to get picked up. So we're just going to sleep in our clothes, not even put our sleep clothes on, and just head out early in the morning. But we'll give you more of a recap once we get the tent set up.
All right, so now that we're back in the tent. We're going to review the day. Yay!
So we went 15.8 miles today, and we went from, hold on.
Blue something? Blue water?
Blue Mountain to
Blue
Deep Gap Shelter,
We're there.
which was our longest day yet at 15.8 miles, and it took us 11 hours. And my heels hurt a little bit, but otherwise I feel pretty good. I would say my My best part of the day? We met some really nice people today. I don't remember. I didn't ask anyone their trail names, but we met some really nice, fun people, and I chatted with some really interesting people around the fire here at camp tonight, which was really cool. So we're starting to meet more people and get in our groove, which really is part of the whole culture and part of the excitement. That thing feels like it's up my nose right now. What was your best part of your day?
I'd say that my best part of the day was, number one, having the fire there. I didn't go and see it, but just having it there was nice. But also knowing that we can kind of push ourselves to be that far. And it honestly didn't feel that like 15 miles. It felt like maybe 12 or 13.
It was actually almost 16 too. Yeah, I think we might be getting stronger now because it didn't feel that hard for me either, except the last mile was like straight up. And I think that was the worst part of my day because I was really feeling like, I don't know if I can do this. I mean, I couldn't exactly stop on the trail and just leave my bag there. But yeah, I don't think I really had a worse today. We met interesting people. One guy said to me, which I thought was really interesting, he said, no matter how much you watch all the videos and the vlogs about the trail, you really never know what you're getting into until you're on it. And I would agree like 110% with that. So we're going to make even more of an effort to kind of share with you guys more reality of it. I think this morning I got up and felt pretty discouraged. I just wasn't feeling like myself, and I just felt a little discouraged. But then again, got on the trail and started feeling great. But I'm going to tell you guys at least when I'm feeling those highs and lows, and probably Largo too, of like when we just feel like, oh, this is really, really hard, because I think it's important to share that. So tomorrow will be a new day. Day 8 tomorrow. It's our 1 week anniversary on the trail.
Yay.
We're going to celebrate with cake or something tomorrow. All right, guys. Have a wonderful night. Thank you so much for watching and being here with us. We really appreciate it. Your positive energy is awesome. Good night.
We'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Might I add that it doesn't smell very good in here because I have bad breath and there's no ventilation. So I'm gonna get out of here real soon.
We did see it one day, but it was a day that we slack packed, and so my partner dropped us off, and there was trail magic right there, and I was like, we just ate. And he had a ton of stuff, and I'm like, I don't want to take it. Like, I want to leave it for people, who have kind of just slept in a hotel. Good morning.